Welcome to the Books Bible Study. We are continuing in the third book of the Bible, Leviticus. We are on chapter 2, verse 1 reads, When anyone offers a grain offering to the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it. Verse 2, He shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests, one of whom shall take from it his handful of fine flour and oil with all the frankincense. And the priest shall burn it as a memorial on the altar, an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. Verse 3, The rest of the grain offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is most holy of the offerings to the Lord made by fire. Verse 4, And if you bring as an offering a grain offering baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. So it must be pure with no alterations, right? They consider yeast to be altering the bread. So just as the burnt offerings must not have any defects or blemishes, right? It has to be clean, it has to be pure in order for it to be most holy to the Lord. Okay? Are y'all getting this, right? Just think of it as when you offer thanksgiving to the Lord, when you offer praise or worship to the Lord, whatever you're offering to the Lord should be holy and undefiled. Okay? Verse 5 says, But if your offering is a grain offering baked in a pan, it shall be of fine flour, unleavened, mixed with oil. Verse 6, You shall break it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. Verse 7, If your offering is a grain offering baked in a covered pan, it shall be made with fine flour and oil. Verse 8, You shall bring the grain offering that is made of these things to the Lord, and when it is presented to the priest, he shall bring it to the altar. Verse 9, Then the priest shall take from the grain offering a memorial portion and burn it on the altar. It is an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. Verse 10, And what is left of the grain offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is most holy of the offerings to the Lord made by fire. Verse 11, No grain offering which you bring to the Lord shall be made with leaven, for you shall burn no leaven nor any honey in any offering to the Lord made by fire. I don't know why they added honey into that. We'll see if they explain that later. Verse 12, As for the offering of the first fruits, you shall offer them to the Lord, but they shall not be burned on the altar for a sweet aroma. Verse 13, And every offering of your grain offering you shall season with salt. You shall not allow the salt of the covenant of your God to be lacking from your grain offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. Verse 14, If you offer a grain offering of your first fruits to the Lord, you shall offer for the grain offering of your first fruits green heads of grain roasted on the fire, grain beaten from full heads. Verse 15, And you shall put oil on it and lay frankincense on it. It is a grain offering. Verse 16, Then the priest shall burn the memorial portion, part of its beaten grain and part of its oil, with all the frankincense as an offering made by fire to the Lord. So every offering is a sacrifice, right? But every sacrifice is not an offering, okay? Sometimes we sacrifice, but it's not in our heart. So the outcome that we thought would come out of it doesn't, right? So the point of the offering being of your own free will determines if your dedication or thanksgiving to God is actually authentic, right? When it is forced, it is not truly a covenantal act, right? What you do proves what you believe, regardless of what your mouth says, right? You only do what you believe. And the heart posture behind what you do proves who or what you worship, right? So you can do the offering and then you wonder why. Well, the Bible says that if I do this. Well, what was your heart posture, right? Because God reads the heart. He's not just concerned with the acts that you do, right? Or the words that you say, because you can say a thing and the thing not truly be a part of what you're doing from the heart. So every offering is a sacrifice. And when we say offering, it's something that comes from your heart. Like, these are what God requires, And you either do it willingly or you do it forcefully. But if you're doing it forcefully, that's not a covenantal act, right? Because you're being forced to do it. It's not of your own free will. And I think that, especially as parents, when we make the kids do things that we probably don't want to explain, we need to explain why we do the things that we do in church, right? Because if they're just doing the act, you find that most children that are just going through the motions, they don't stay, right? Because they were never taught or shown the love of God, right? Through you, through your acts. Maybe they see you saying one thing and doing something different. But whatever we do for God, it must come from the heart in order for it to connect, right? Or otherwise, we're just doing acts. Okay? So that's Leviticus chapter 2. Stay with us for Leviticus chapter 3. God bless.